back. My God, did you see that? That was off the hook. I love that. The Good Boys record, and that was just great, man. I like to see young folks. You know, sometimes it's a great thing. You know, when anytime they praising God and lifting God up, it's always a great thing. Because anytime you do anything to please God, it's already successful. Don't ever forget that. I am your friend and host and confidant, Dr. Sam, and you're just tuning in to TCT Alive. We're in the studio here, and I am here with my co-hosts, our wonderful prayer partners who are praying with people from all over the nation. Now, the prayer partners wanted me to tell you to pick up that phone, 1-800-232-9855, and connect with them, pray with them. They'll believe with you and pray for you. And so I love the prayer partners. They seem to, like I said earlier, they follow me around everywhere. It must be my cologne. I don't know. I am in the house here in the studios with my friend, the wonderful Donnetta, Social Butterfly Carter. How you doing? We still here, Donnetta?
We still here.
Donnetta,
still hanging.
For y'all that don't know, there's some folks that probably outside the studio that follow Donnetta here. That's what kind of followers she has. People follow her around a different place, especially in this Detroit, Michigan area. You got the entourage. You don't have to be ashamed of it.
Yes, I'm
got
happy.
An entourage. I ain't mad at you. They follow you because you're an anointed woman of God that's blessed to do what you're doing. Well, Donnetta, while we was, while we was listening to the rap singing group,
yes,
we were talking about our particular calling in media, and what we call and what God has blessed us to do. And one thing I don't always, talk about a lot is myself. I kind of like put the brand out there, and how God has blessed me in media, where I'm able to do television, radio, and be an advice column, do music. Just starting off music, got the songs coming out here in a minute, almost done with the album. It's pretty good too, by the way.
Okay.
And able to speak in public and do speaking in ministry and speak in front of corporations, the whole thing. And you're doing marketing, promotional, and social network and all that stuff, and how God has really blessed us in that area. Let me ask you that, as people that work in media like we do, what do you think is good for a successful media company?
Successful media company, they would have to be successful. Some people have degrees in media. I don't have a degree in media. It's just my niche that I do, and this is something that I enjoy doing and love doing. But for a successful company, you have to dot your I, cross your T's and dot your I to make sure everything is in order to have a successful media company. And then I think the people that you have in your company or on your team, you guys all got to be on the same page. Everything has to be consistent. Right. I believe in consistency and just duplicating what you've done. If you did an event last year, do it similar way, but sometimes you can make changes or you can enhance it, and people will give you feedback as well. Yes.
And Donnetta and I, or Social Butterfly myself, I use a media company because that's what we're involved in, but it applies to your ministry or your company.
Yes.
One of the most important things I think about building a company outside of having an accountant and a lawyer first, just getting situated, is that you have to know as the CEO and the leader of the group where you stand on everything.
Right.
You really do. You have to stand.
Know.
Because even in some of my situations, I've had some people I had to let go. It's been a couple of that walked away. I thank God for both times they have.
It's a blessing for you.
Yeah, it is a blessing. Yeah. Because sometimes it's just they just don't get it. They just don't. They're not sold on what you're doing, and it's more about what they're trying to get out of being around you.
Right.
And you have to be careful of those folks.
I've already experienced it. People call me for tickets for events, or they want me to see if I can get them backstage passes, and so thank God for people that's prayed for me, different pastors, for what I do as far as the marketing and rap. But people call me for, do you have a free ticket for this event, a free ticket for that? Can you give me a backstage pass? Can I go with you here or there? Some of them I do know, and some people that I don't know. But yeah, you got to be careful, because people only call you when they want something from you.
Yes. While Donnetta's information was just on the screen, you should get in touch with her. She can give you some fine information and some direction in the ministry and helping building your ministry and a brand of your business, which I think is extremely important.
Yes.
Because you cannot win the world for Christ if you can't win your block, because you don't have your book set up right.
That's right.
So that's very important. Like we said before, one of the most important things, or the greatest example we can have right now, is this network and what Dr. Garth has built here. Because again, it is not easy building a television network.
I believe that.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of people you have to deal with. It's a lot of faces, a lot of money. It's just a lot of stuff. And in order to carry that load, it all has to be in order, or it has to be a system.
Yes.
And one of the funny things about systems,
like assembly line.
Assembly line.
It's got to be A through Z. It's got to, everything got to be on point.
Yeah, and we in the city of Detroit. I mean, Henry Ford brought the assembly line concept to mass market. He didn't invent it, but he brought it to mass market, so that's what we have to do.
Very successful.
Very successful. So how do I find out what my system is of my business? Like, for example, what's your system?
My system is, as far as when I do a fundraiser, I seek out to see who needs money. And if they already, I don't do fundraisers for big corporations like, I'm gonna just use this for example because they receive thousands of dollars. Susan Komen, they do that march for breast cancer awareness. So I do it for like smaller 501c3 nonprofit organization like food banks, battered women's shelter. So I try to seek out who needs money. Right now I have a waiting list of 25 people waiting for me to do fundraisers. I wish I could just train somebody else to do what I do so they can do it as well, or assist me or do the same as me, same as I'm doing.
Yeah, my system of business is I know what I want. And because I'm very strategic in my vision, even if I don't know how to put it together, I know how it's supposed to come out.
Right, you implement the plan.
Yeah, I implement. It's like being in the studio in a song. Like, I can't always hear myself. I can hear you if you were singing and say, do this or do that. But it's a little different when I'm hearing my own sound in my own head.
Right.
But I still know what I'm trying to get.
Right.
And one of the most important things that I find out in business is that you have to know where you're trying to go. Right. Because if you don't, you can't require nobody else to follow you.
You got to have a strategic plan. Then you got to implement it. Then you got to have policies. You got to have the three, like you said, the 3 steps. What 3 steps? You got to have a plan. Without the plan, how are you going to get to step 2 or 3? And how are you going to teach somebody else to do what you're doing?
Right. And another thing, one of the biggest things is, like we talked about earlier, is people have to have the heart for what you're doing.
Right. They got to believe in you.
Yeah, they got to believe in, like, and you can't, and I know this is going to sound funny, y'all going to understand that. You also can't be afraid to put them in check when need be.
Right.
Even if you're not paying them.
You got to just correct them nicely.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, correct them. Just tell them this is the way I think it should be done. And if they don't, say, okay, I want to do it my way, then maybe they should not be on your team.
Right.
You want team players because you're the leader and you got them following you. You're the leader, like the head of the church. You got the pastor of the church.
Right.
He's got his people in the pulpit. So whatever pastor do, we gonna follow the pastor. He's a man of God, but he's telling us what God's telling him. Yep. So if he ain't right, I'm sorry, the pastor ain't right, how the people gonna be right?
Yes, I totally agree with that.
I'm sorry.
And one of the key things I found out too in dealing with people is that you have to be authentic.
Yes.
And what you're doing has to mean something to you. And normally, what best correction, here's a great method for correction when you correct somebody in the business. I call it the tear down, the build up, and then the branding. Okay. I tear them down and say, look, this is what I need you to do. Then I tell them why. And then I tell them what part of the business, because you're doing it right, makes this brand bigger or this ministry bigger. That's correct. And a lot of times, part of it is selling people on what you're doing because they got to buy into it no matter what.
If they don't buy into it,
it's
not going to work.
Yeah, and I might get hung on the cross for saying this, but I know I can hide a couple of places. Is that, when a lot of churches have musicians come play at their church, and they solely play for money, but they really not involved in the church, period, they just there. I think you're playing with a very sensitive line because I think even though as gifted as they are, we all gifted. Singers gifted, deacons gifted, usher, everybody gifted.
Somebody have a talent.
Yeah, somebody got talent, but you're most of the time not going to get out of that praise and worship what you really want if you don't have that musician or those musicians sold into what you're doing at your church and them not being there just to get paid.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, just not getting, he's not playing just to get that paycheck. He believes in your ministry.
Yeah, they got to believe.
Yes.
Okay, Donnetta, we coming down here in a little bit in a few minutes.
All right.
And I want to put the spotlight on you, of course, because it's already on you, because you the social butterfly. So could you, I want you to do two things for me.
Okay.
That camera over there, camera three, camera three, that's your camera.
All right.
Could you look in that camera and could you give our family, our TCT family, some encouragement, not only personally, but in business-wise, some advice on how to get that thing together?
I think for business-wise, especially for churches, because most of you do have 501c3 status. If you want to do a fundraiser, you need to seek out people that believe in your brand, believe in your church and what you do, have a strategic plan, implement it, have policy. And sometimes you may not have the right people on your team when you begin. Sometimes you can have 10 on your team and narrow down, there might be just 3 of you. So I think you should always have a business plan, a strategic plan, and it has to be, God has to bless that plan as well. You can't just go out, you can go out on faith, but it has to be right. Everything has to be in order. Thank you.
Amen. I'll take that. Well, we got about a minute left, and I want to tell you, family, that first of all, I love you, and I want to thank my guest and my friend, Donnetta, social butterfly Carter. And I want you to remember her, and if she wants to be a blessing to your ministry, to look her up. Also, to be a blessing to this ministry, you can go to our website, www.tct.tv, plant that seed, be a blessing, check out all the other shows this wonderful network offers, and also at our TCT P.O. Box 1010, Marion, Illinois 62959, and also to our wonderful Canadian viewers, to be a blessing to this ministry, TCT P.O. Box 1220, Fort Erie, Ontario, L2A5Y2. Well, this is your friend, Dr. Sam. I want to tell you, I love you. We're praying for you. You know, keep your faith, stay strong, and believe anything that God has called you to do, you can get it done. I love you. This is your friend and confidant, Dr. Sam and Donnetta Carter. We're out. We love you.